Welcome back to What Arty Noobs. This is a Light Mk VIC. It's a Tier 2 British premium light tank. It's located on the south spawn of Steps, and it's under the command of 73north of WTWW. Game on. Well, I'm sorry, we've got a fault there right on the screen straight away. Yes, it's the Sixth Sense. It's showing up, but it will go away the first time he does get spotted. Okay, well, the Light Mk VIC, because I almost said it wrong, is not the Light Vic. A lot of people think that's the name. It's not the name. It's actually a 6 in Roman numerals with the C. And they only made 130 of the C version of this tank, but they made 1,600 of the Mk VI tank. So it was a well-made tank, or a lot of them built, but only 130 of this type. Now, the main armament is a 15mm Beezer machine gun, and although that may sound fairly weak, in fact it did have quite a lot of penetration, and with that caliber it had about the caliber of a machine gun or a cannon, and you can see he's plastering that MKA with rounds, and he's actually getting quite good pens. But being it's a machine gun, he's having difficulty trying to get shots at distance. Now the penetration is only 27mm, and it only does 9 hit points of damage for each shot if it penetrates. Each clip has 40 rounds, and you've got 800 rounds in total. As you can see, he's spattering that MKA with rounds, but the MKA doesn't seem to be firing back. Oh, he did there, and he got 60 hit points, so almost 6 times the damage from just one shell. But it's the fact that you can plaster the enemy with these rounds very quickly. Okay, he's definitely getting some of those through, and he's got a kill, but he can't even get up that slope. That's how anemic this thing is, and he needs to get away from it because it's an enemy tank only a short distance away. Right now it's an M2 light, and that guy does have a cannon, so that could be dangerous. Okay, another enemy tanker a short distance away, but he's come up behind this M2 and he's now peppering the rear. Some of those rounds are going in. It's got a maximum speed of 52.5 kilometers an hour, so it's fairly slow, only 88 horsepower per ton from a 6-cylinder engine that's in the front of the vehicle. So if that guy fires on us, he's going to hit the crew who are at the back of the vehicle, and yes, he could do a lot of damage. So we need to get into cover quick. Now, one of the things you do to protect the engine is actually to back up and just show the rear of the vehicle around the corner, because the engine is up front, like on the MX-13. You see how slowly it knocks the hit points off, but he managed to get a kill on the M2 and only took rounds. Well, he took a couple of rounds on the track, well, 1 round on the tracks, but he did take 52 hit points of damage off the BT2, which is over this direction. It's lost sight of that BT2. So it's a tiny little tank, and it's also one of the tanks that was given away free by Wargaming way back about 6-7 years ago. He got the kill on the BT, at least. Yes, it was given out for free, actually, although some people did have it as a premium vehicle for a short while. It's still a premium vehicle, but of course they he's firing at that guy, auto aiming on. Oh no, he's coming this way. That's a Cruiser 2. Now the Cruiser 2 can have the mortar gun instead of the standard ordinary gun, and he can do a huge amount of damage with one shot. But they've taken away the mortar gun now. I say the mortar gun, but it was a mortar tube on its side. Oh, and he got the kill. The big drawback from this tank is its reload time, 17.62 seconds. Well, by the book, it's 20.78, which is a huge length of time just to get the shells to go in. But you remember, it's 40 shells each time. So you're actually putting in a clip of shells. Okay, he's got this guy by the rear. And he is getting shells in, and he gets the kill. Now, most of the time, well, you've only got one type of shell to fire, just the standard shell, which obviously means that you can't fire premium to get a better effect. So it's a very tiny little tank, and most of these were actually left in France when the British escaped through Dunkirk to get back to the mainland. A lot of tanks were lost, and in fact the Geschutzpanzer Mark 1 is the or their tier 2 Arty, the German tier 2 Arty, was made from one of these. Now, can we get a shot? Yes, I think we can. Go for it. All these enemies seem to be on autopilot. Are they all bots? I actually believe they are bots. As far as I can tell, there's no live players left on the enemy team. I think the only live player they had was in the M2 Light, and he got killed, and the MKA, and he was killed as well. So both of those kills went to 73north. So the tank he's coming up against now, this M2, who could wipe him out, is a bot. Just goes to show how dangerous they might be if he gets damage on us. And he is getting damage on us. Well, he did get some. Now he's driving away to get the reload in, and he sees that Cruiser Mark II up ahead. Yes, I said the mortar gun is dangerous on the Cruiser too. The mortar gun, when it used to be in, was actually quite a powerful howitzer, you might say, in terms of damage. Used to lob shells at the enemy, and you could wipe out entire tier 2 and tier 3 tanks with just one shot. So he's locked onto that Cruiser Mark II and he's going for it. One of the great things about this little tank is it can only ever see tier 2. So it's a preferential matchmaking. And you've also got to remember, if every shell were to penetrate, it can actually do 360 hit points of damage in just 5.5 seconds. So it's pretty deadly, actually. He's actually going to shoot down on these guys from above. No, he's decided he's going to ambush them. He manages to get round. And, well, it looks like the bot just got a kill. And we're going to have to go for a reload. And we are taking damage from the T2. Oh, we could go down. And we did. The cruiser got us in the end. Oh, dear. Well, that's it. The game's over because they're all dead. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was yet another first ace tanker for 73north of WTWW in the Light 5C. Yes, I did get it right that time. You can tell it's his first ace because he got the scrolls underneath the M. You only get that the first time. He got a fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points to his own vehicle. Sharpshooter for getting 10 or more consecutive hits on the enemy, as well as a duelist for taking down 2 tanks who damaged him, and a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits in that game. He managed to get 17. But better, he actually got a high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game. You have to get over 1,000 hit points of damage to do that. So he was really harvesting the enemy. And he also got 6 kills, which meant that he got a top gun as well. His win rate was 21,010, which is super unicum and quite a bit more, as you can tell. Let's have a look at team score. Well, he was the most active of all the players in this game. Yes, it was bots, but there were a few live players in there as well. He managed to get 1,897 hit points of damage. Next highest scorer was, in fact, the MKA on his own team, who managed 315, followed by the M2 Light on the enemy team, which was a real person who got a cool-headed and 300 hit points of damage. And those shots actually came from 73north because he kept plastering the side of the vehicle, but some of those shells weren't going through, so that's why he got the cool-headed in the game. When it came to kills, he got the highest number of those. 6 kills went to 73north. The next highest number being only 1, and that was the MKA, the Panzer Zwei, and the M2 Light on the enemy team. And when it came to base XP, he's the only one who got that as well. But look at this, 1,631. He far exceeded what you'd normally expect from a Light 6C. And yes, so that's way over 1,631, with the next highest being the MKA getting 461 and the T2 Light on his team getting 271. The best that the enemy could do was 136. So he fired 520 shots, got 421 of those were direct hits, and 212 of them penetrated. Yes, 1,897 hit points of damage, all of it done at close range. You can't shoot long range with this thing. It's not possible to shoot at 300 meters. The shells scatter. The further away you are, the more chance you've got no chance of getting the shells on target. They'll literally just disperse everywhere. 9 enemy vehicles, 9 hits received from the enemy rather. 7 of those penetrated, 2 non-penetrations. And he also got 3 enemy vehicles spotted, 8 enemy vehicles damaged, 6 killed. And he earned 41,168 credits profit from the game because the shells are so cheap. And on top of that, he got 6,606 experience points out of it as well, getting a bonus for this being a premium vehicle and getting a very high score anyway in the first place. So very well done there to 73north. You should have a Light 6C. If you don't have it, it might be that you weren't in the game early enough to actually receive one of these. I think you might have come into the game since they were in use, but I'm not sure how you actually get hold of one, because unless of course it's given away free of charge at the Christmas, with the Christmas celebrations, I don't know how you can get one now. In fact, I think I ought to ask Wargaming, how do you get one? Because I have several accounts which don't have it, but I do have a couple of accounts which do. So I am actually able to take it out and enjoy it, but it's a very anemic little thing. And I can tell you, when it did come out, which was way back, there were literally dozens of them on the playing the game all at the same time. In fact, yes, I can see it now. It was given out in New Year 2014 as a gift tank, and it was sold between January and February of 2018. So they might sell it again sometime in the future. But it is a very anemic little tank because, of course, it only has that machine gun, and it really can't cope with anything that does have any solid armor. As you saw, several of the tanks he was trying to engage there, the shells were just literally bouncing off. So he was just more annoying the players than doing anything. And I think they were paying attention to the guys with the big guns and leaving the little one that was sitting behind him, plastering him full of holes to get on with it. Hope you enjoyed that replay. If you did, please give this video a like, and thank you for watching.